This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. A 36-year-old Ranelagh man has died following a motorcycle crash in Margate last night. It's understood he was travelling south and struck a patch of gravel on a sweeping bend.
The tragic remains of a single motorcycle crash which occurred late last night. At around 10 p.m, emergency services were called to the scene on the Channel Highway at Margate. The victim, identified as a 36-year-old man from Ranelagh, was riding a black Harley-Davidson in a southerly direction. Investigators believe the rider failed to negotiate this sweeping right-hand bend. He came off onto a gravel verge, with the impact so strong he died at the scene. Police appealing to anyone who may have seen the motorbike travelling south or witnessed the crash. And in Turners Marsh, a man had to be rescued from his ATV this morning after it rolled and hit an embankment on Pipers River Road.
It's believed that a mechanical fault may have occurred and the vehicle has rolled and crashed, obviously.
The man received serious injuries and is now in a stable condition at the Launceston General Hospital.
It's believed that he had his seatbelt on, even though in this sort of vehicle a helmet's not required. We'd recommend that you still do wear a helmet.
The road was closed to traffic for some time but has since been reopened. Investigations into both crashes are continuing. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
3 men are lucky to be alive tonight after their boat capsized near Cremorne early this morning. Police were contacted by the distressed group who were stranded in water and unable to determine their exact location, triggering a full-scale rescue operation.
A Sunday morning fishing trip turned sour. At around 9 o'clock this morning, police received a call from a distressed male stranded in water with 2 others.
This male stated that he was in the water in the Frederick Henry Bay area and that he had been on a vessel which had sunk.
But before an exact location could be determined, all communications were lost. This triggered an urgent and frantic search around the area, involving the Westpac rescue helicopter, police boats, land-based units and volunteers. After spending almost 45 minutes in the water, the trio, aged in their 20s and 30s, were finally located by a passing recreational vessel.
If they'd been in the water for, possibly another half an hour to an hour, they certainly could have been have lost consciousness and may well have lost their lives.
All were taken to this boat ramp at Cremorne, where they were met by ambulance and police.
All 3 males were treated at the scene for exposure and hypothermia, and one of the males was taken to hospital where he remains, although he's expected to make a full recovery.
Police reminding people on the water to use proper safety equipment and carry waterproof communication devices. Also urging people to check the seaworthiness of vessels. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Hobart's traffic congestion could worsen as new hotel construction forces a number of bus stops onto Macquarie Street. Metro Tasmania has made changes hoping to ease pressure on the main thoroughfare as the government spruiks its bid to fix southern traffic woes.
A re-election pitch for a traffic fix, the state government promising 4 lanes from Hobart to Sorell. But another term in government for the Liberals would first see a planning study, with a shovel-ready project still more than 4 years away.
We'll spend $55 million in the first 4 years and then substantially more to create a full 4-lane highway experience between Sorell and Hobart.
I have to just be a very excited mayor now to know that officially this is on the table and that it's being worked on properly.
It's part of a wider southeast traffic solution, but the opposition says the government can't be trusted on infrastructure.
This was a Premier who promised a 4-lane highway down the Midlands Highway, and he's still working on delivering a 3-lane highway.
Fears Hobart's traffic woes could worsen following changes to the bus mall. 4 bus stops relocated from today to allow for a major hotel construction. 1 stop now at Franklin Square, another 2 stops forced onto the busy Macquarie Street.
There'll be a little bit of settling in over the next couple of days, but all of the modelling suggested that there would be minimal delays for other road users, minimal delays for metro passengers.
If we could have moved them anywhere else, we would have done. Every single possible avenue for where those buses could go was looked at.
Minor changes have been made for some timetables, with the temporary move a 2-year plan. A solution to Hobart's traffic gridlock still yet to be realised as growing pains plague the CBD.
We know what has to be done, except we don't own those roads. And so we'll need to be engaging with that, and we'll have more to say about that in the future.
Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
The Australian Education Union is accusing the state government of cutting almost 70 classroom teachers over its term, claiming it's putting pressure on remaining staff. Teachers say they've lost their support staff, causing stress for those having to manage larger classrooms.
Some of our classes look like being 28, 29 children, and with a high range of children and their needs in each class, we just don't have the supports. Teachers are going to get more and more stressed, more and more frustrated.
They cannot support the kids that they have in their class. They can't give them that one-on-one. They can't give them that support that they need, because clearly there aren't enough teachers at the coalface.
Fake news has well and truly arrived in Tasmania. I mean, that is entirely incorrect, and it's a demonstration of the depths that unions will stoop to cause political chaos by dishonest means.
The government says more than 100 teachers have been employed since 2014, alongside 60 more support staff. An elderly man has had a lucky escape after ploughing his car through a fence and into a tree at Kingston. There was no major damage to the property and the man suffered just minor injuries. Witnesses say he was travelling around 70 kilometres an hour when the collision occurred. It's understood he hit the accelerator instead of the brake when approaching a nearby intersection. An exciting opportunity to work at the end of the earth is on offer, with the Australian Antarctic Division looking for 150 expeditioners. As part of a social media pitch, the division is particularly interested in females joining the upcoming season.
This is Pete, Mark. We're expeditioners for the Australian Antarctic Division.
Recruitment is currently underway for a range of different roles. Applications will close at the end of January. A quirky new taxi service has popped up in the state. Pedicabs are now helping travellers get from A to B, and a peak tourism body says we can expect to see more niche businesses popping up in the future.
Straight off the pedicab rank. This is the latest venture in Tasmania's tourism fabric, a pedal-powered player in the transport game.
I think with the increase in the numbers of tourists coming into Tasmania, people have to think a little bit outside the square or outside the circle in what they do and what they can offer.
A peak tourism body agrees, noticing a changing taste among visitors.
Either tourists or just visitors for other reasons are much more interested in experience than just ticking something off the bucket list.
Tourism Northern Tasmania says the industry's growth makes these boutique businesses viable. It also says locals are more likely to embrace new startups when there is a vibrant visitor scene.
And this does signify a shift away, which is the whole community hosts our visitors, not just hotels and major attractions, as important as they are.
Curious locals make up a large chunk of the pedicab's clientele, a sign some of us are also enjoying the fruits of Tasmania's visitor boom.
There's more offerings to be had by tour operators, and I think it's an exciting time for all of us here.
Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
And the Hobart Hurricanes have suffered another heavy loss in the WBBL. The side was bowled out for just 93 runs at the hands of the Adelaide Strikers. Veronica Pike was a silver lining, taking 4 for 17.
After losing to the Strikers yesterday, the Canes tried desperately to change the script. Early chapters gave hope to the Purple Haze. Veronica Pike clean bowling Tammy Beaumont in the third over before Nicola Hancock delivered wicket number 2.
It's well held onto, wasn't able to get above square leg.
But the good news story became a horror as Sophie Devine and Susie Bates etched a 117-run partnership. Pike broke the mould in the 17th over, seeing Devine go for 43, but Bates made it all the way to triple figures. With a target of 175, things didn't start well when the Hurricanes went into bat. Georgia Redmayne was left red-faced in another run-out.
There's a mix-up, she's going to be run out twice in 2 days.
Lauren Winfield went 2 later that over, setting a downward spiral in motion. The next 5 wickets going for just 28 runs. Veda Krishnamurthy top scored with 21, but a great catch by the keeper ended her day. The final deficit, 83 runs.
I think we definitely need to review it and make sure that we are addressing all the issues that have happened and not sort of shy away from those if we are going to keep improving and learning.
Tasmania has gone down to country New South Wales and the ACT in the Under-19s National Championships. Tasmania's 221 run total was chased down with 3 overs left to play. All eyes were on Georgetown's Jared Freeman, who knocked up 87 runs with the bat, before going on to take the first wicket of the next innings. Tasmania has qualified for the final series, which begins on Tuesday in Hobart. The Kookaburras are through to the Hockey World League final after downing Germany 3-0. Tasmanian Eddie Ockenden helped set up the side's second goal of the game. Australia will play Argentina in the decider later tonight.
Good evening. Mostly sunny day today with westerly winds across the state. Hobart 25, 24 in Launceston, Burnie 23, while Devonport reached 21. The state's top was 28 at St Helens. Elsewhere, Bushy Park reached 24, Sheffield 23, 22 at Grove, Low Head and Flinders Island 20, King Island 19, while Strawn reached a top of 18 degrees. On the satellite today, a westerly airstream pushed low-level cloud along the west coast of Tasmania and into Bass Strait. Thunderstorms moving over the west coast of WA. The remainder of the country mostly cloud-free. A closer look and low-level cloud over the west and Bass Strait there. Tomorrow, a ridge of high pressure continuing over the state. A warm and cold front approach from the west. Coastal waters and northwest to southwesterly winds at 10 to 20 knots, reaching at 25 knots about the north and south. Swells below a metre in the north, up to 3 metres in the west and south. And a strong wind warning is current from Tasman Island to southeast Cape. Monday's forecast now: Hobart a fine 22, showers on the way for Dover, ooze 22 also. A warm day in Launceston 26, Devonport and Scottsdale a mostly sunny day, a top of 24. Burnie tomorrow mostly sunny and 23, a shower on the way for Strawn and Stanley a top of 20 degrees. In the east, St Helens and Swansea fine and 22, Ross a partly cloudy day, 24 the high. The UV forecast is extreme right across the state again tomorrow. On to Tuesday and a fine day apart from the chance of early showers in the southwest. Fine again on Wednesday apart from some light showers about the far south and later in the west. And Thursday, showers contracting to the southwest and northeast in the afternoon. Capital cities now, and Brisbane a possible shower and 28, Sydney looking at 26, Adelaide a warm 32, Perth and Darwin 35, Melbourne a partly cloudy day, 23 the top.
And that is all your news for now. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great week and join Joe Palmer and the rest of the team tomorrow at 6. But for me, it's good night.
That's right. Okay.